What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. A few days ago, I talked about the guilty verdicts on all 9 counts against R&B artist R. Kelly. And we all know what he's going to jail for. There's no need to talk about what he's going to jail for. But this verdict follows so many years of allegations back into even when I was in high school. All right. When I was in high school, that was in the mid 90s, late 90s. And even then, people were saying that, his music should be removed. And now there's a Mute R. Kelly campaign that was launched in 2017, which wanted his music to be removed from apps. All right. But here's what we have found. And that is, since R. Kelly has been convicted, meaning that there was enough evidence, according to those on the jury, to convict him of all said charges, he is still popular on Spotify, still very popular on TikTok. And even though his, I would say, popularity has decreased a little bit, he's still significantly popular. Like almost as much as like Will Smith is, or Fifth Harmony, or Zendaya, whatever that group is called. He hasn't really lost any steam. All right? And now we can all say because of the publicity he's been getting and stuff like that. But see, here's the situation. Who listens to R. Kelly? I can tell you. It's not men. R. Kelly YouTube channel's views and subscriber levels are soaring. Okay? Want to know who's his biggest fans? It's not men. The same people who are, and R. Kelly's going to prison. We know he is. He'll probably never see light of day again. But who is responsible for R. Kelly's success right now, if you can say that? Past the verdict. We know who listens to R. Kelly. Right? But what do we hear from said people? Certain folks are not protected. Who are those people? Now, let's be honest. R. Kelly has a global fan base, but the majority of folks who go the hardest for R. Kelly are sisters. Yet, he's still picking up steam on social media platforms. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. And see, I want to talk about this because there's a lot of hypocrisy in what some ladies are saying because, okay, R. Kelly did what he did, fine. But why are you listening to his music? And it kind of makes me think it's the same thing that happens in the church. There have been pastors, all right? Like, for example, Eddie Long. We know what Eddie Long was accused of. Okay? Eddie Long was accused of doing something horrible. He came back and crowned himself king. They picked him up. Want to know who was the biggest fans of Eddie Long? You got it. It wasn't black men. Okay? What about the National Baptist president who went to prison? Okay? Remember this guy? Henry Lyons. Now, I used to love to hear Reverend Henry Lyons preach. He's out of Florida. He would always have the same black suit. And he used to be the president, one of the most influential black ministers in the country. But what happened was Minister Reverend Henry Lyons, who undergrad went to Morehouse, okay? There are some churches in the South that got burned. And what happened was, I believe the Anti-Defamation League or the NAACP gave the National Baptist Convention some money to rebuild these black churches that were born down in the South. What did Reverend Henry Lyons do? Reverend Henry Lyons bought his mistress a brand new house. Now, he cheated on his wife. When his wife found out about the house, she burned the house down. Okay? So the wife went to jail for burning the house down. He went to jail for fraud, for stealing $4 million for, at that time, was the largest black organization. It has now been passed up by Church of God in Christ. He spent 5.5 years, or actually he spent a few times in prison, okay? Want to know what he did soon as he got out of prison? Okay? Right after prison, I believe the same week, somebody came and picked him up from prison, gave him a robe or a black suit. He went to go preach not that far, soon after that, and then ran for the National Baptist Assembly as president once again. Okay? All right? Then in 2017, okay, he was then forced out by his board of trustees for stealing at a church he was preaching at. Okay? All right? He did it again. Want to know who's the biggest supporters of the National Baptist Convention? It ain't black men. It's sisters. Okay? So I want to know, when black men were coming out against R. Kelly, because so many of them were. When black men were coming out against Eddie Long, so many of them were. Who supports these people that are demonizing sisters? It's not black men. Who's listening to their music? Don't tell me it's black men that have daughters. And I understand that R. Kelly, and what makes me kind of feel, I'm not saying I feel sorry for the guy, but from what you can gather, I know that what's being said ain't all the truth. There's some people and families and stuff that played into this too, knew what they were getting into it, and gladly played into that. I believe that. Okay? It ain't just, he's just a monster all by himself. There were certain people who benefited and tried to benefit and knew what they were doing, and also was plotting on him too. Now, I believe that there's some truth to what they're saying, but this ain't all the way the truth. We ain't hearing the whole story. But it just goes to show you that in our community, we have people who say they want protection and then they don't. It's like the sister who goes out there and deals with the guy who's, abusing her, okay? And then, you tell her, don't mess with that guy. He ain't no good. Then once he do something to you, you want to get your brother to go out there and fight the guy. Your brother go beat the guy up. Then you go back to him again. Remember the Free R. Kelly marches? Who was the one saying Free R. Kelly? Wasn't no guys. Gotta tell you right now, if you're a guy and you say anything to support R. Kelly right now, they're gonna call you all the names in the book. But then sisters go out there, or women go out there and support R. Kelly on the march, they don't say nothing about them. If women get out there and talk about they want to free R. Kelly, there ain't nothing wrong with them. It's only a problem if black men go out there and say, well, man, or they take a position, well, this is how I feel about it. And if it ain't how they feel about it, like what Bill Cosby said, we won't talk about what Bill Cosby said. All right? We're going to leave it alone. What Bill Cosby said about the R. Kelly situation. But if you take that position, you're a creep, you're a monster. At the same time, you can say you're torn in between both situations. Like some female artists are saying, oh, I'm torn. Okay? In between, because R. Kelly, I'm torn in between the two. You can say that. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Women, it's okay. They'll sweep it underneath the rug. But then they have the nerve to come out and talk about they need protection. Protection from who? How can people protect you from what you like? If you like the man's music, how can anybody protect you from that? That's what I want to know. Okay? That's what I want to know. But I'm going to tell you, nobody wants to talk about it. If you come out and you say it's Akon, they're going to have a problem. He need to redeem himself. He's going to have a problem. Okay? All day long. A problem. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I am out.